Yeah, I speak the truth. I do.
We are live. Good evening, everyone. As you can see, Dr. Burns is not here with us today, but I'm standing as your host. I'm Minister Sharon Brumfield. And of course, we have Brother James Jones with us for our Financial Friday. If you go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself, Brother James.
Hello, how y'all doing? I'm James Jones. I am a logistics personnel, or I've been doing property management for the last 15 plus years. I have a bunch of certificates in logistics, a CLA, a CLT, a DSA, and a DSL. All those are logistical certifications. And then I also have a associate's degree in business management. So,
Okay.
and what
So
I've been
you are
doing,
okay.
oh, yeah.
You're an expert in this field and you're able to help us get from where we are with our finances, help us set some goals so that we can get to the other side and enjoy our financial future, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Do you want to do a little review as we're waiting for people to come on tonight? You can give us a little review of some of the past things that you talked about, just in case we have some new people pop on, they can catch up to where we are.
Yes. So the best thing for me to tell everybody is so everybody can catch up. You got to make sure that you are understanding that you have 100% of your money that you need to spend. However, you don't need to spend it all on how you live. 10% need to go to God. 10% need to go to the country in taxes. 40% is what you need to actually live off of. Along with that, you need 20% to invest in yourself or your vision. 10% is going towards your safety. Another 5% is going to accelerate you getting out of debt or accelerate your vision. And 5%, which is the last percent, which is just for your sanity. We do all that. It comes to 100%, but it's 100% of healthy living that will yield results in the end.
All right. And I know from our past shows that some people had some challenges with that 40%. And tell us a little bit about reaching that goal and just having it as something that we're trying to get to.
Yes. Like I've said in many occasions, these are all targets. The target is to be at 10%, 10%, 40%, 20%, 10, and then 5 and 5. These are all targets that if we was to hit these, we'll be in a better financial situation. The top three is God, country, and yourself. If you can live off 60% going to God, the country, and yourself, everything else you do, all the money you bring in, will be able to facilitate you living well, healthy, and having a good financial standing.
Okay, okay. Let's see who's joining us tonight. Minister Simone is on. Good evening. Good evening, Deacon Boone. Lady Burns, good evening. Yes, the grinders are on. We are grinding this out, making it happen. Good evening to everybody. Make sure that you like and share this broadcast tonight. Share it with your family and friends on Facebook so that others can get this information. You know, having finances in order is such, it leads to having some stress off of your life. When you don't have enough to make ends meet, when you're living check to check, when you're having so much going out and not enough coming in, it can bring stress on our lives. So this is some important information. It's some information that can help us stay healthy mentally and help us stay healthy physically as well. All right. And so, James, you can go ahead and get started with your session for tonight.
Okay. Okay. Before I get started, I do always like to say the same thing is it is to say this. Hello to everyone and good evening to all my grinders. So let's get into it. The if you can see it, it is going to be our financial formula. We already went over the 10%, which I'm going to go over again. We went over the other 10% for the country, 40% to live off of. Last week, we talked about the 20% going towards your investment, another 10 going towards your safety of life. And this is now, we talk about your financial formula is the 5% to accelerate you. So let's get into it. Am I back?
Oh, there
Okay.
you go. All right.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. So when you do all that you need to do, you will have 5% to accelerate what you got going on.
Okay.
And this 5% is used to take in or to decrease your debt at a faster rate. So instead of you paying your debts off at the minimum payment allowance, which accrues the most interest, it lasts the longest. You're going to use your 5% to accelerate you. And you can use this to also, if you have no debt, if you have no debt at all, you can use that to increase your savings, to increase your investments, to increase where you need it to be. But for most of us, you use your 5% to accelerate your payment, your down payment, or paying off your life expenses. And although this section is smaller on the list, when we get to an actual live board, I will show you how, even though it says it's 5%, 5% is a lot more than merely $5.
Okay.
And you always, so when it comes to some people fall behind off their bills, and the using the 5% accelerated is that as you accelerate yourself, you move further in life, and you can get further in life by paying down your bills faster. So when you do hit hard times, you will have a larger sum of money in which you can cushion yourself through that financial difficulties.
All right. So that was a lot right there. So you're saying take this 5% and you can do several things with it, right? It's used to push yourself further. So maybe you're putting more on credit card debt, or you're putting more on a car payment so that you can pay it faster. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am saying that. Yes.
All right.
Too often, because we find ourselves not having enough money to pay for a car loan. So you may get a car loan with a 6% interest or an 8% interest. And even though it may seem small, over time, you actually accrue a lot more money that you're paying towards interest. With
Okay.
credit cards, your average credit card is running around 20%. So if you could pay that down faster and keep it paid off, then that way you're actually building more money and more residual income just by not using a credit card versus using your own money.
Okay. So when you're putting that extra amount, you're saying put 5% extra on it? Is that where the 5% comes from? Or is it the 5% that you had in this pot? You're going to use that and spread it around.
Oh no, remember the living expenses is 40. So your
Mhm.
credit card payment is inside that 40%.
Right.
So let's say your car loan comes in about $180. At 180, that's in your 40% pool. When you get your 5% and you decide what you're gonna do, because everything is a decision. Once you decide what you want to do with it, I'm a firm believer about making sure your money is doing what you want it to do. We don't just throw money away or throw money in places. We put money to a purpose, what they need to do. With that being said, I'll be putting that 5% towards that loan to pay that loan off faster.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Let's see who is on tonight. Minister Mark, good evening. Dr. Burns has joined us tonight. Good evening, Pastor. Good evening. Let's see who else is on. That's it so far. And so, all right, so that was good information right there. It was clarity for me because I was trying to figure out that 5% and where that was coming from, but that's within that 40%.
No. The
No,
5% is by itself.
okay.
The 40% has the minimum payment. So if you have a credit card payment, and let's say your minimum credit card payment is $200,
Mhm.
that's within what you live off of, which is the minimum credit card payment. When you get down to your 5% accelerated, that's what you're using to put on top of your minimum payment. So instead of just paying the minimum, you're paying the minimum plus what you come in at 5% on.
Got it. All right, do we have any questions in here? Make sure that you put your questions in the chat and then we'll read them out and get some answers for you. Tonight, we're on Rise and Thrive. This is Financial Friday. I'm the host tonight and taking the place of Dr. Burns, standing in for him tonight as he's not here. And so, James, you can continue on and give us the next steps in your lesson tonight.
Okay. So as we go on to the financial formula, hopefully you saw this picture and that's what your financial looks like. We'll move on to the next slide. So when it comes to your slide, you're now seeing, which I've been using, is $4,000. So if you have $4,000, it comes in at 5% is only 400. Correction. If you have $4,000, currently we already used approximately 80% of our income, which brings us down to $400 left is remaining. 5% of our overall total is $200, which will leave us with $200. So with that being said, we have $200 that we will use to accelerate our debt.
Okay.
And the benefit of that is if you have a large income balance, the minimum amount being $130. If you was to put the accelerant of $200 on that, now you're paying $333 versus the $133. So instead of most of it going towards interest, now you're making more principal payments, which will pay down your credit card or loan faster.
Okay.
The next one, which is the last one, which is the one that I want people to focus on, is you also want to put 5% down for your sanity. And people ask, well, what is your sanity? Well, the sanity is your lifesaver. Because when we make a big adjustment as to say, I'm finna hit this goal, oftentimes, just like working out or just like trying something new, you need to have a buffer to make sure you don't go crazy. And that buffer is this 5%. It may not seem like a lot, but when you start trying to cramp your old ideas with a newer idea, you need something to buffer those two so you don't go crazy. So with this, it's 5% for your sanity. This will be your lifesaver. So when we start making those adjustments to get down to 40% of living, it may feel cramped, you may feel stuck, and you may have this anxiety in which is coming into you. So with that being said, so you don't get stuck, use 5%. Now, the way it breaks down is that 5% comes to $200, and I will show you on the screen. But you want to make sure that you thank God for what you do have. And so if you have to stay at home and play board games versus going out and eating at a fancy restaurant, guess what you need to do? We need to stay home and play board games. I'm a firm believer that you must have relaxation. You must have time to have fun. But when you're doing this, you must understand that your fun must be within the contents of your finances. It's no fun to say, hey, let's go to the Hilton and spend $500 for each night. That may be a fun event, but then afterwards you'll be feeling sorry about doing it. Versus if you just stay home and make it a date night at home, pop some popcorn, watch a movie, have a good time. Those things we can do to mitigate the financial plugs or holes we put ourselves in, and then we can still have a good time, eat some food, save money, and still keep our relationships moving stronger.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Just an example today, my husband and I were in the car. We were really hungry, but I had already started cooking dinner. So I already knew, well, we could just run these errands, get home, and it only take, another 10, 15 minutes to finish the dinner. But we were so hungry. And he was like, you know what? I would say, let's go out to eat. And I said, no, I know we would usually do that, but we were both in agreement that nope, we're gonna thug it out. We're gonna be okay till we make it home, but we're not gonna go out because that could be $50, easily wasted when we already had stuff at home. So it's making those decisions even when when you're hungry, you want to get something to eat right away, but it's making those decisions to know we're going to pause and we're just going to make sure that we go home and eat what we have at home. Those are
Yes.
good decisions, but
Doing
sometimes
that,
a little tough.
yeah, because you always save by doing that. It sounds crazy and it sounds cliche, but the best food you can have is pretty much at the house. You know what you're putting in your body, you know what you're eating, and you know what's going to happen. Some fast food places are filled with processed foods, and you know it's not healthy. Like no one has ever said in history, I ate a bunch of McDonald's and I felt so healthy. No, that never happened.
Right.
That's not a now you can say it's quick, you can say it's fast, you can probably say it's cheap, but
Right.
no one ever had McDonald's and was like, you know what, I had this sloppy Burger King burger. It was so greasy, it was so healthy that I don't know why I feel this way. Yeah, you feel that way because you drunk some grease as you was
Right.
eating your burger.
Right.
I mean, it's the processes of what we go through. So when we start, and I just want to put it out there, this is just a target. This is not you must. But
Right.
once we become more conscious, just like you and your husband, once y'all become more conscious, we can make decisions to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna save $50 and I'm gonna just eat at the house. I'm
Right.
gonna have a good meal, we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna be done. Wash a little bit of dishes and we're done. It really is that simple on making these small transitions.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just check the chat here and see who is here. Good evening, Dr. Bonds. Welcome to Financial Friday. Minister Simone said, yep, yep. Minister Mark, okay, I like that. I can't remember what we said at that point, but he said he liked that. And then, yes, Lady B, we thugged it out. We were hungry. We wanted to stop, but we did not. We waited till we got home and enjoyed the meal that we had at home together. Hey, Sharon Austin, welcome. Welcome to Financial Friday.
I got somebody texting me saying, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm on the TV, man." It's like, dude, you gotta be where you need to be. Like that's it's always funny how somebody is like, "No, I want to get the information." Like, and I'm always trying to tell somebody. As I seen Pastor do this, I'm like, okay, there we go. All right. Like, man, where are you, dude, bro? Get on where you need to get on.
Yeah, good
This
evening.
is for everybody. So the at the end of the day, it's for everybody.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna move on to the how it looks financially, but
Okay.
this is really for everybody to understand. And I do like the testimonies.
Mhm.
So this is the last bit of money in which we spend. So when you take $4,000, you have $200 left. You use your last 200, you have $0. Now remember, when I say that, these are all numbers. How your life looks is not going to be exactly 200. It may be 192, it may be 182, but these are not exact numbers. These are all
Right.
estimated numbers to equal actual zero. And it gives you a framework, if you will, to make sure that you are hitting the goals that you want to hit.
Okay.
Okay. And this is the gift. Now, before you open up the gift, just know that if you made it here, if everybody's online and they're listening and they made it to here, know that this is the gift, right? The gift is the knowledge of the race. The race for us is financial freedom. And everybody in the stands are the kids. And as you realize that a race is happening, right? As kids realize, as they get older, they realize that they will be an adults one day. So then when you start, you make noise because every kid wants the energy of money passing through. Every kid wants that. As kids get older, every kid knows that this dollar or those $20 or that $50 or $100 buys them what they want. because everybody wants the energy of the applause. So then the announcer, if you don't know it, is God. God deems who will come to the race, who won't come to the race. And since not all of us will run the race, we all must model what we're going to do if we have to run the race. The race, the transportation is based on your financial success. Some people are running because they are stuck in their situation. Others are riding vehicles because they have a better situation. Some people who are in planes and jets, I'm telling you, they are selling. But those are people out there that are doing it actually. There are people out there who don't have a care in the world about the money that's leaving and coming because they are financially secure. Not everybody is running or struggling. Not everybody is crawling. Not everybody is dying in debt. There are people out there that are having a fabulous time with wealth. And it's not people who are born with wealth. It is some people who actually figured out the formula, applied themselves, and are utilizing this to make sure that they reach their horizon, they reach their end. So that is the gift that I had for everybody, is when you reach your horizon, that's the mental point that you have when you can see the next level. When you get there, that's your horizon. And I want everybody to get there. I want everybody to see the end. I want everybody to be financially secured and financially successful. So that's my gift to everybody.
Okay. All right. And so Lady B, yeah, that was the slide. He was talking about the gift that we receive through the information that he's sharing today.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if we have any questions here. All right. Okay. All right. You can go ahead, Brother James.
Okay. And this is the poverty line. So when people ask where you get your numbers from, I'm a heavy researcher. I believe that research allows us to see the unsung truth of a lot of matters. And even though there are numbers, but those numbers represent a lot of people that are affected by many things. So when I tell you this is the poverty threshold for 2022,
Okay.
it tells me by looking at this is according to how much money it takes to live, just to live, what poverty looks like. And some people may be in poverty and say, no, this ain't me. Well, in a long and short term, you may not feel like you're in poverty, but you are living above your means in a mathematical way of looking at things. And this is the reason why we must understand, to live in America and then to live in your individual states and then to live in your individual cities, all of that takes money, and it takes a financial understanding to live in those areas. Once we get those financial understandings, we can do better and we can grow. So this is the poverty threshold for the United States. It goes differently as you go to each individual state. It boils down to different counties, and it wavers when it comes to different cities because you can commute to another city. But some cities have a lower cost of living, which means you may, like New York, for example, many people live in New Jersey and they drive to New York because New York is more expensive and New Jersey is less expensive. So they make these commutes. I myself make a commute a lot.
So
and
can we go back to that slide, Brother James? Can we go back to that one? So from here going down, it says 3 people halfway down the sheet there. So the $23,280. Tell us more about these numbers.
Okay, so this is how much it cost, like in dollars. So when people understand that a 3-person household at $23,000. So if you make $2,300, and that's with husband and wife or significant other, however people view themselves. If you got 3 people, that's a parent and two children, you or a parent and two children or two people, if you have no children and you have three people, and you guys as a collective make $22,000, then you are below the poverty line.
Got it.
If you have one kid, you make $23,556, then you are below the poverty line, which means you don't make enough to sustain yourself.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm not saying that's. I'm trying to make sure that I say that with an understanding heart, because some people are in precarious situations and they may be at that point. I just want to make sure that they understand that even if you is at this point, it doesn't mean you're in dire situations. It just means that at this current point in time, you may want to look at more options to produce more income.
Okay.
Or you want to look at more options to have more resources to aid in you getting out of that situation that you're in. And even though I laugh a lot, these numbers signify a lot to me, because I don't know a lot of people in these situations, but I do know some. And even though I may be not in this situation, it does affect me. And I want us to make it. I want us all to make it. I want us all to do better. And that's wherever we are, just do better. And I do want us to be just secured and like worrying about money and where money is going does hinder a lot of people. And it hinders our relationships. It hinders what we plan on doing, how we plan on doing things, where we plan on going. All this stuff is hindered because of the fact that we may not have the right financial means or the understanding to get ourselves out of situations.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I wanted to make sure that everybody understood what was happening right here. Minister Mark said he couldn't see the screen. Okay, Dr. Bonds, that's right. Take a screenshot and then you can enlarge it. All right. Go ahead, Brother James.
Okay. Just so they know, I will be providing this information, so it's not like it is exclusively mine. It is. Okay. This is off the U.S. Census, so I will provide all this information.
Okay.
The next one, I want to go over the 4,000. So this is 4,000 a month, and this is when I first did it. It went over rent being 800, groceries at 400, the car loan at 270. I have another screen that's a lot more interactive. We can take all the questions, I can plug in all the numbers, and I can show everybody how it looks. Okay. This is the bi-weekly, which is about $26.42 bi-weekly. And then I'm going to show you what it is on the live site. And then that way, everyone can have an opportunity to chime in and tell me how they feel about something. There we go. We're going to do that. And do you see it? Did it come up?
Not yet.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. This is the live site. So as you can see, I've been working on this to make sure that we accomplish what we're after. This is your total. So if you take $4,000 times 12, you get 4,800. When you take 4,800 and you divide it by 26, you get $1,846.15. And the reason why you divide 48,000 by 26 is because that's how many payments a typical person get. When you do bi-weekly, that means you get paid every 2 weeks. You typically get 2 months out the year that has 3 payments versus 2 payments. So that's why it's divided by 26 versus 24. And that breaks down to 1846. I'm really big on math. This is how I see a lot of stuff.
All right. So is everybody able to see this as Brother James is walking through it? Just put in the comments that you guys are right on with us here. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so they are with me?
With you. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna say unfortunate or fortunately. If you see right here, right now, this person is completely fictitious, but this person right here is at 100.53%, which means they are slightly above their average or where they need to be. So if I was to go here and say, I'm not gonna give over 10%, and I was to bring it down to 450, oh, messed up. I was gonna bring it down here. There we go. I was gonna bring it down to $450. It brings it to 12%. If I was gonna go to 367, it brings it down to 99.9%. So when you see the budget, you have the ability to play with it and see if you can get where you need to get. Personally, I don't mind giving a little more to the church. I can make my differences in my retirement. If you believe in yourself and you have faith in yourself, the the way that you get your government is when you look at your paycheck, you actually deduct your taxes out of your paycheck on you, not deduct, but you write down your taxes from your paycheck onto your screen. Your insurance is how much you normally give to like your medical bills, your dental, your health, vision. Those are normally deducted out of your paycheck. So when you go live, you can see those as well. And then your retirement is something in which is automatic. If you don't know it, what is happening is that they are putting I think it moved. Okay. So if you
Did.
don't know I'm having some weird computer issues right now, I'm telling you. Okay. Um, if
So
you
let me
don't
just
know it,
jump in real quick, Brother James. Let me jump in real quick while the screen went out a little bit, but it'll be back, guys. But so this is Excel that you're using?
yeah, this is Excel.
Okay, so what I really like this because we can put our percentages over there and see how far above the 40%, the 5%, 10% we are, and then we can make adjustments on the other side with the monies that we have, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the reason why I chose this one is because I wanted it to be simple enough that is not complicated, but informative enough that we all can see it, and that
Right.
I want us. So it's not just a me thing. It's not just a you thing. It's a us thing. So if anybody was like, "Hey, where are you?" Where my goal for living, right? My goal to live
Right.
is 1,476. However, right now I am producing $2,141. So if
Right.
you can see this, my target is 147. 1,476. That's my target. I'm actually living in about $2,041. That places me at 55.28%.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you can't live like that. I'm saying these are targets in which if we all was to go for, pursue, we will be better off because of.
Right.
And just a side note, I got this tad bit of information from a friend of mine who is living. Uh, he has 2 kids, and this is what he is bringing in. This is close to his amount. I can't say who he is, but that's close to what he's bringing in. So I said, "Cool, I'll use your numbers, and then it'll be a starting point."
Right.
Because now this is how he's living now. So right now he's at 55%, and he's good. His kids are well off. He has a car. He has a card note. So it's not like he's in desperate need of a struggle. However, his investment, which he's not investing in, I put that in there. His investment, 20% of his investment is $738. However, since he's at 80% now, it brings it down. He's only going to invest $450. That brings it down to 12%. His safety net of 369. Instead of that, he's putting in $150. That's at 4%. So instead of putting in 10%, he's at 4%. But that's what the safety is there for. The safety is there to make sure that as you bring yourself down to the 40%, you have a net to catch some of that overage that someone may.
Right. Quick question, James. So sometimes you hear people say, well, I don't make enough money to save. All my money is going to take care of bills and things. From looking at this, you still need to put something. It might not be the full percentage that's suggested, but you need to be putting some type of something away for that savings, correct? Okay, we had just a little bit of technical difficulty this evening, but we will be back.
I'm right here.
Okay,
Can you see?
I see you.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a satellite or some light.
We just gonna keep moving along. We just gonna keep moving along. So my question before we got disconnected was, some people say they're not able to save. They're just going to continue to put everything into their bills and just for everyday living. However, according to the plan, we need to be putting something aside, right?
Yes, you have to. I can't express that enough. I can't say that enough. If you continually to think that putting money towards your bills is gonna somehow make you magically able to retire, you're not. Just the numbers don't back up retirement. Unfortunately, Social Security is not going to be there. You can't rely on Social Security. Unfortunately, you can't rely on your family to financially cushion you as you get older. That is not, it's something that we may do in the past, but more often than not, as you get older, you go to a nursing home or you try to tough it out by yourself. So the best way to tough out something is to have a plan going into it. Right. So when your running start is in my 20s, I will be here. When your running start is, I waited later on in life, my running start is at my 40s and I will be here. Making a plan for the time that you're not working is the best way to have something actually established versus waiting for a government that you really shouldn't be waiting on, because the government isn't necessarily designed to house people. It's just not designed for that. It is happening and people are doing it, but it's not designed to house that many people. That's why we have the system that we have currently that is deteriorating.
So. Okay. All right. Now, did you want to finish with that PowerPoint, or were you all, did you?
Oh, I was pretty much done. The PowerPoint was just to let everybody know that I did work on something, and I'm going to give it over to Jericho. They can retool it and tweak it out, and it will be available for everybody to utilize.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I sent it to Pastor Burns. Promise you. I want to copyright it and put it inside a nice little package and give it to people and sell it. But I know Pastor Burns in his heart would probably want to make sure everybody has the ability and access to access it. So I'm going to finish it, give it over to Pastor Burns and let him retool it to make it to make it just pop and make it real personable for everybody, so everybody could be on the same page. Because at the end of the day, we want everyone to be financially successful.
Right.
So if that's what Jericho is, that's the lead, and that's the way Jericho is going, then I'm with Jericho. I want everybody to be financially successful. So I want to give this out very easy, no systems, no gimmicks. Put your numbers in it, see where you are. And that's the best thing about it. See where you are. And it's completely free, it's completely honest, it's a system. If you put in the right numbers and don't lie about it, it's going to tell you where you are. And that's what I want to make sure everybody understands.
Okay, because when you were going through it, I was like, yes, this is it right here, because you put your exact numbers in there and you can see how far off you are, or how close you are, what work you need to put in, what things you need to pull back on. Maybe you're spending a lot on fun stuff and eating out and that kind of stuff, and you can see, oh, that's where that money is. And now you can allocate it to another place in your system.
Yes, I think because that was the goal. Like when I first started, my money was poured out of me. Like I had holes in my pocket for some reason. And you don't know until you actually start digging into it. Like, where are we actually eating at? And then I think when I first started, I think we was doing maybe $200 eating out, like $200 of just eating out, like of just fast fooding it, and was like, we gonna go. And I tell everybody, you don't know because you don't look at it like that. You like, I'm out, I'm with family, we tired, let's just grab some fast food real quick and go home. But you do that 4 times, right? With a family of 6, you do that 4 times. You just spent $200. You don't even notice it because you like, oh, we just went out. That's like $45. Okay, never mind, right? And then you do it again. You do that the first, you do it on the 5th. You do it because you're gonna go to your mom's house and the kids are kind of hungry because you're trying to go out with your wife. Cool. Now you just spent, and you just keep spending. And it's not until you actually write it down and be like, where am I losing this extra money at? And then that's how this system became, that's how I started developing this system, because I was losing like pockets of money, just like in it. And that's why, like real quick, behind you is a bunch of $100 bills.
Right.
I like $100 bills. $100 bill is very hard to spend. You can't spend $100 bills everywhere, and it's very hard to spend. But once you break it, them 20s fly. Like them 20s, them 20s, like you can't, there's only so many places that would take 100. It's so many places that actually would deal with a person who got 100. But once you break it, you be like $20 here, $20 here, and it flies. So yeah, it just flies. And you got, $5 here. Yeah, you want me to donate to the school $2? Okay, here you go. And now you don't notice, but that $100 that you broke for that 120, and now you got $80. Your $80 in 3 days is down to 40. You like, what did I spend it on? I knew I had, and then without keeping a track of it, you just know that you losing money. Like, I don't know where I lost it at. I know some kid asked me for some popcorn. I went to a game, and somebody said, "Can you donate to some school?" I think I gave them $5, and now you're trying to recall what happened. And then you get to the end of the month, you started off with a couple of $100. Now you're down to $50 in your pocket. You don't quite know what happened, but you know something happened. And all I say is, if you're mindful, you mark it down. And then you start realizing, like, oh no, I'm gonna go to the game, but I'm bringing my own bags of chips. I'm bringing my chips. I'm gonna buy them at Pick and Save. I'm gonna buy them at Walmart. I'm gonna get the big old 30-ounce pack, and I'm gonna go to the game with some snacks. Or we're gonna eat before we get there. And the more conscious the more conscious we get about our money woes or our money etiquette, the more conscious we get. Not that we will change, it's just being more conscious that we're doing it. We tend to not just donate a bunch of money, not just have our kids asking for something, be like, can I get this? And you be like, no, not right now. Just not right. Not because I don't have it, it's because I know where my money is going now. And that's not where I want to place my money. Hey, can I get that brand new Benz or the Honda Civic? Well, I don't want to place my money behind that Benz right now. let's get the Honda Civic for now, but let's put the Benz in my mind on layaway. I'll be back for that Benz. Like the pastor, he want a Rolls Royce. I want that Rolls Royce too. I want it. So let's put that on sale over here in my mind, but let's deal with what I got right now. And once we become more conscious, then we can buy stuff. We come together. Then that Rolls Royce will come down eventually. Like, man, it was in my mind. Now I'm driving. That Bentley, it was in my mind, but now I'm driving it. Why? Because now when we become more conscious, we can start buying the things that we actually want. And I'm a big proponent of investments. That's like my thing right there. That's my jam. Invest in yourself, invest in your vision. Oh, those are, if I had to leave with anything, I'll say that's the nugget. Invest in yourself. Just put ain't there is nothing more live than investing in yourself. There's nothing more. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can tell you. When you invest in yourself and you see that return and everybody is happy and eating a bunch of food, yes, then that's what. Oh yeah, I like it.
I was going to say that because I'm not sure how many times today since we've been on this Zoom that you've talked about eat food, Thanksgiving, eat food, Christmas, eat food, be happy and eat food. So I get it. You really enjoy food. All right, let's check out these comments and see what's happening here in the chat. Everybody is saying thank you so much. Thank you regarding the system. Thank you. Much appreciated. Lady Burns says, God will bless you for blessing us, James. Thank you, Elder Perry. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate it. That's great. Thanks so much. All right. Break it. It's gone. Once you break it, yes, it's a wrap. That $100 bill. I mean, but see, for me, I can hold on to cash longer than I hold on to money in the bank because I'll swipe, put that chip in there and get going. But if I have cash, I'll just let it sit. I don't because I don't want to break the $100 bill. I don't want to break the 20. I want to just hold on to that. But a credit card or a debit card, I'm like swipe, 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 swipe. So I have to be careful with that.
Yeah, yeah, that $100 bill, that people don't know. Like back in the day when you had that crisp 100, it better be a tornado or something. Like, I'm not breaking this 100. I'm not breaking it. It's an emergency. Not for this 100. Not for this 100. You can take this 5. Take the 5. You're not gonna break this 100. So that was my biggest analogy, is that when we become mindful, man, it just, oh man. If I could just let people see what I see, because it sounds like your investments bring in more income. So if they just understood, if they invested in themselves, and let's say you invest right now, the investment is $738, right? If you get within the framework, and now you're investing $400 just in yourself and in your vision, your energy levels are a lot higher, because now you don't even notice the hard times or good times, because you're just investing in yourself. And as your vision grow and it puts money back inside, now you're not at 40,000 or 48,000 a year. Now you're at 50,000 because you just put $2,000 back inside of your livelihood. So now you're investing more in your vision, and your vision may have a downturn, but you're still at 48,000. Right? You're still at 48, and then your income comes back again, and now you're at 52 at the end of next year, and then that money continues to grow. So when people understand that the ideal of investing in yourself means that you will have a positive return, because the goal is, when you stop working, you can't rely. And I'm not saying that your family don't like you. I'm not saying that your family ain't gonna help you. I'm saying don't rely on someone else when you have an opportunity to do it yourself. Because
right.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. Because some people say, well, my kids will take care of me. If your kids are barely taking care of themselves, you just become another mouth to feed. like you just become another mouth to feed. But if you come into it and then you like, hey guys, I got a house we can live in together, and you get up that age, and now you like, well, take over my house. Now your house becomes an asset, whether they sell it or they rent it out. It becomes an asset to the family. And that
Right.
adds to, and then that's how we grow as a people.
Right. So I have a quick question. When you talk about investing in your vision, give us some ideas. What are some ways we can invest in our vision?
Uh, it depends on what your vision is. Like my vision is helping kids. So that's my vision. I want to help out my culture, understand what they're doing. So when I say investing in myself, that means I got to go and learn more about how to talk to people, how to talk to the youth. Even though that may not produce a monetary value right now, being able to educate another generation, that will be like my shining light right there. If I can get a bunch of young adults to understand how money works, and they can hit the scene and they can produce other families, not just themselves, but they can produce other families that are financially aware. That means the next generation will have that much of a foothold further. Not
Right.
it's not about me. It's about what the vision is. If somebody said my vision is to make sure that every kid can have nice hair, right? Well, then how do you utilize that? How does that go? That means you got to teach some people how to do hair. You got to teach some people how to put on makeup, how to do. But those things that you're doing does have a monetary value. It's just I want you to pursue your vision, and by pursuing the vision that God gave you, then the increase happens. I, I don't. I'm not a person who wants to tell people pursue money. You pursue your vision and let God give you the increase. Because
Okay.
I like real estate. I could do real estate all day.
All
If I was
right.
a food tester, I could be a food tester every single day of the week. I will be a food testing brother. You'd be like, dude, that's the best food tester I've ever seen. I'll be tasting it, a little more salt on this, right? And because I can do those in my sleep.
Mhm.
And that's my thing for everybody else. When you invest in yourself, you're investing in the vision God gave you. Not something your grandma told you. You're investing in yourself. And that looks like, what am I good at? What can I do? What is natural to me? What do I love to do? And if that is putting on makeup, then be a makeup artist, because you may make $1 million, you may make $10,000, but there's a lot of makeup artists that are doing really good things. And now you're teaching another generation how to put on makeup, how to apply foundation. And if it's to the glory of God, and I say if, because I don't want people to say, oh, I just like doing it. No, it got to be after your vision. Your vision is what I want everybody to pursue. That's the investment, because that takes integrity. Hey, God wants me to be out here, because some people may be called to be a missionary. Hey guys, I'm called to go to this third world country, and I'm called to literally build a church here. I want them to pursue that vision. What does it look like to be a missionary? What must I give up? What must I be able to accomplish? What does that look like? And then they build around that. Don't be a missionary. Don't be a missionary and you can't talk to your neighbor. Don't and you like I mean, it's certain things that we do or we say we want to do, but we're not already doing. Like, I like my neighbors. I talk to all my neighbors. I don't want to be a missionary, but I do want to talk to my neighbors. So I invest in my community. I think a bad community is one that doesn't talk to each other.
Hmm.
My neighbors may know when I leave town. Most of them, I think one of them don't know because I didn't tell them. But when you have that communication, is built in. It's like, hey man, I love you. I need to let you know that I'm about to leave. Can you look over my property? Hey man, I'm about to go somewhere. And you don't gotta say, hey man, I love you. You can say, hey man, I want to see you alive next week. Hey man, how you doing today? Right? It's building these relationships that aid in our growth to our vision. It's just the small things. It's not big, it's small. See a neighbor, help a neighbor, say hi. Hey, how
Hmm.
you doing? You see trash on the ground, just pick it up without anybody knowing, without looking for applause. That's how you build your vision.
All right, let's see what everybody is saying in here. Audrey says it's very motivating. Awesome, very motivating. You're getting their mind wheels working and looking at the budget and looking at our visions and how we can sow into ourselves so that our vision can yield back unto us. Thank you for that. Let's see, Lady B says that's good. Investing in self to help others, increase for all. Yes. Elder Perry says money is a tool. He says money is a tool. Tell us about that, money being a tool. We
Oh,
have a few minutes. We got about 5 minutes,
okay.
but give us the short summary
Okay.
of money tool.
Money, my father used to say money is nothing, because money is nothing. Money can't buy you happiness. Money can't buy you love. Money can't even buy you contentment. Hold on. Let me say that a different way. Money is not love. Money is not happiness. Money is not contentment. Now, what money does is, because money, the love of money is the root of all evil. But money does answer all things. How so? Because if I can take care of my family, I'm using money to help take care of my family. That's producing my security. It's not money. Money is just a tool that I'm utilizing to secure my family. When people are stressed out, they use a tool to buy that vacation. Money is just a tool that we use to buy vacations. When I want to get that new car or that airplane, I'm really looking for an airplane though. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get myself
Okay.
a nice but I'm going to use the frequency of money. Money is just a tool that we utilize. But even when it comes to our vision, money is not or should not be part of our vision. Money is a thing that we utilize to monetize what we're doing. So when it comes to helping our kids, I'm not looking at the money aspect. I'm looking at the future. My vision is helping the kids. When it comes to somebody who's very into creative design, right? Their vision isn't about money. Their vision is to cultivating an environment that is warm and appealing to others. Money will come if they utilize their vision. If you find people who often just want money, they are typically angry, very, very quick, cynical, because they're looking for that instant result of money. I don't need money. I need someone to feed me. I need someone to love me. I need to be able to drive a vehicle. If I did that in pesos, if I did that in Benjamins, if I did that with goats and lambs, we're still utilizing that as a tool to get the things that we need. So I want everyone to understand that when it comes to me and to what I teach and to what I believe in and what I have seen, money is nothing. Go after the vision that God gave you, and everything else comes full circle.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Brother James. What's happening in the chat? Let's see who's still on. Okay, so do you guys have any final questions before we close out Financial Friday today? Any questions about anything that Brother James talked about? Elder Perry says that's a great explanation of money is a tool. Great explanation.
Yeah.
All right. I know it takes.
Let me,
Go ahead.
yeah. So I think I got one thing that before we leave, I believe in you, but not just you, Minister Murfield. I believe in everyone that is hearing it, right? Just if you can hear it, because faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So you don't have to know everything. You just got to hear faith. And I'm telling you that God wants everyone to go search him for their vision. And if they do that, I promise you don't have to worry about money. I promise if you find contentment in the Lord, everything else works. So if I have 1 minute to talk about it, I'm gonna tell you, just find contentment. Just search the Lord, see what God wants you to do. Go after what God is telling you, and God will supply all of your needs. That's as easy as I can make it sound.
And that's well, that's what the whole 90 days of vision manifestation is all about, is finding that thing that we know God is approving of us, you know, what he's asked us to do, what we desire to do, and working it out over these next days and working hard at it, you know, doing the work, putting in the effort. If it's finances, then we have plenty of information that we've gotten so far that we can go ahead and run with it. We can get our finances in order by the things that you've told us to do. Now, some, like you said, may be at 100%, some may be over 100%, but we have a goal of getting to that 40%. And each day we just work a little bit to get down to where we need to be. And so I'm excited. I pray that everyone who has tuned in is excited about their 90-day journey, excited about getting into your books, you know, your Pathway to Possibilities book. This book right here, I tell everybody about this book because it's just been a blessing. It opens up your creativity. It opens up your mind to think about things you may not even have thought about ever. And you get to write down those goals and you get to write down those dreams and watch God work them out for you as you do the work. So yes, I'm super excited. Can't wait to see the manifestations as in, you know, we're not even waiting until the 90 days. I'm expecting him to do something every single day. I'm in expectation to see God work in my situation, in my finance, in my business, in my call, all of those things, so that and like you said, he gets the glory. He gets the glory.
Amen.
He gets the glory. All right. Elder Perry said that's a mic drop, James. Okay. And Audrey says she can see the passion that you have for this. So, you know, we can see that this is something that, you know, God has put on the inside of you to share with other people to get them financially stable. So thank you so much, James, for
Oh, you're welcome.
joining tonight, for allowing me to come and host with you on behalf of Dr. Burns. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. And make sure if you didn't like it already, hit that heart button. Go ahead and hit that share button, share it with somebody else, because this is not information we want to keep to ourselves, right? We want other people to be financially stable. If you know somebody who's struggling, go ahead and put this inside of their inbox. Let them see this information so they know that there's a way out. They don't have to stay stuck in financial debt and be drowned in that. They can come out and be financially stable as well. All right, Lady Burns, thanks Minister Brumfield for stepping in for Pastor, and thank James for continuing to give us great nuggets. And so any final thoughts? We'll go ahead and close out tonight. Do you want to close us out in prayer, James?
Oh yeah, we'll do. Let us bow our heads and close our eyes. God, we thank you for this day that you have made. We thank you for this evening that we was able to come together virtually and still be on one accord to make sure that we are doing what we need to do, understanding our goals, understanding more of what you have in store for us, the vision that you have gave to us. Father, we thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
We thank you for this evening and for this day. And as we go, continue to rest on our hearts to lead us to where you will want us to go. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and everyone else as well. Make sure you're in your Pathway to Possibilities book. Make sure that you're in your Unleash Your Vision journal. Make sure that you tap into those resources that Pastor has given us. And we're going to watch God work. We're going to do the work. We're going to be in those, we're going to write down our vision. We're going to do the steps that's necessary, and we're going to see some manifestation in our lives. All right. You guys be blessed, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.